So good afternoon everyone, we are Team 1 and we're going to present our program this afternoon. Next slide. So our project is Biosand water filter generation. For the introduction, so water is one of the most basic necessities of every individual. It fuels the work and activities of every human being on a daily basis. So, safety, water, hygiene, and sanitation are essential to the world's poorest communities to take their first step out of poverty. So according to the World Health Organization and the UNICEF, as reported in 2012, um, the Millennium Development Goals target on safety drinking water had been met. So while that is a great news, still it covers the regional disparities that there are still 768 million people that still do not have access to safe drinking water. And in addition, according to the World Aid Organization, there are 33% of the Cambodian peoples who do not have access to safe drinking water. So, for the causes of having lack of access to clean water. Its causes are, first, we have poverty. Another is lack of awareness, geological condition, poor government support, and limited access to education. So for the goal and motivations, our goal and motivations in pursuing such program are first, lack of access to clean drinking water, and many children die every day. Lack of access to clean water is common in the rural areas. According to the World Health Organization, there are 2,240 children die every day. And with that, we would like to create a healthier environment for the less privileged communities. Another is lack of knowledge and education. So change will never happen unless we should take an action. So the people in the remote areas will remain where and what they are right now, poor and ignorant, if we will not help them. So based on the 2015 Millennium Development Goal, ensuring sustainable environment is one of its missions. So as youth advocates for change, we would like to help ensure a sustainable environment by means of educating the community people, empowering them and raising their awareness and training them.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the solution for the issues. Every issue, when we have the issue, we have to find a solution, right? And the one that we came up with is the most efficient and effective one for the community people. They can afford as well. It is the Biosand water filter. The Biosand water filter, it is the material that include is sand, the gravel, which we can easily get from the nearby environment, and we need a plastic container or the cement container which will hold the sand and gravel, and also the cotton filter which will filter out the sand and the bacteria also. First, I will talk about the benefits of the plastic Biosand filter. We are not choosing the concrete Biosand filter because it is quite hard to make and it's quite expensive, so the community will not be able to afford. That's why we choose a plastic Biosand filter. The plastic Biosand filter, it is easy to make and it is mobile. We can carry it around wherever we go, and it's cost efficient. And according to the Center for Affordable Water and Sanitation Technology, this is how the Biosand filter can filter out the bacteria, because because you see the waterborne diseases, they are mostly caused by the bacteria and the pathogen, and the Biosand filter or water filter, they can filter out bacteria for 98.5%, viruses for 7 to 99%, protozoa for 99.9%, heart mist for 100%, and turbidity for 95%, and iron 90 to 95%. And according to the health impact studies, after using after they conduct the survey on the villages which use the Biosand filter, 30 to 47% of waterborne diseases, they are, especially the diarrhea, they were reduced at every age or age group. Okay. And now I'm going to tell the process that our project is going to do. The first thing, the approaches we are going to do for this project is, the first thing is to raise the awareness of the villagers, the importance of using a clear water and the impact of using clear water. How are we going to do that? We're going to start by the education campaign. We're going to educate them, give them knowledge about the clear water, the impacts and the positive and negative effect. And we are also give them training about what? We give them training on how to make the Biosand water filter by themselves, because we just don't want to give away the filter. We want them to learn how to make it for the long-term purposes. Okay. These are the brief activity we are going to do. First, our plan is we're going to buy one Biosand filter just to show as a sample, and we plan to put it in the school, because school is where most of the children spend their entire almost a whole day, and they need to access to the clean water. And we'll also educate the children and then look at people. And by educating, if required, we're going to go to the house to house and give the face-to-face talk. And we teach them how to make the Biosand water on their own. And as a follow-up after our project, we're going to monitor whether they are actually using the Biosand filter or not. And we also collaborate with the other organizations like university to do the follow-up research and to improvement of our project. And if our project works in the Cambodia, we're going to extend it to the other country, because we have the similar situation. For example, in Myanmar, the area around the Ayeyarwady Delta region, they do not get the clear water as well. And this is, next slide. This is the end of my presentation, and I'm going to pass it to my friend Nas to explain briefly about how the Biosand water filter works.
Now comes the important part of our presentation, which is how does it work? How does Biosand filtration system will separate the microorganism with the water and to produce a clean water. So first of all, of course, we need to pour a water into the container. And as the water goes in, it will pass through the diffusion basin before it enters the water standing zone. Now, the important thing of water diffusion basin is because we need to slow down the movement of the water. Why? Because without the diffusion basin, the water will go straight to the sand and will hit the sand and cause the unbalance to its structure. So we need to put the diffusion basin. Then after the water goes through the diffusion basin, it will keep inside the water standing zone before it fully absorbed by the sand. So after a while, the water in the water standing zone will be absorbed inside the filtration sand. And inside the filtration sand, this is where the most important and vital process occurs, where on the top 2 centimeters of the sand, this sand will trap the microorganism and bacteria such as pathogen and remove it from the water. So the clean water will go downward of the container. So the question is, what happened to the pathogens inside the filtration sand? The answer is, over time, the pathogens inside the filtration sand will die due to natural cause. Why? Because over time, the pathogens cannot find its food and cannot have the oxygen. Since the filtration sand is very packed, so the pathogens over time will die inside the filtration sand, and the clean water will go down below of the container. And here we have the gravels. So the importance of the gravels, first of all, is to hold the sand in position. So the sand will be in a firm position. And the second one, the importance of gravels is to prevent the sand from going to the tube and prevent the tube from clogging. So as the water goes down, the water pressure will push the water downwards and the water will go upwards, and here there is a clean water for all of us. And next, the stakeholder. We cannot do it by our own, so we need the stakeholder. We need to find our sponsor, expertise, volunteer, and community. Next. And this is our list of possible stakeholders. For example, Panasastra University, we need a manpower, we need a volunteer. So we will collaborate with the Panasastra to get the volunteer to do our work in the village. And another example is Cambodian Red Cross and also Water for Cambodia. These two organizations have the expertise in making and experience in making to make sure this project will going well in the future. Next, I'm going to pass to my friend.
So when to start the project? So the starting project will start at June 2015 and the completion will be December 2015. So this is the timeline of our project preparation. First, we will go to the target site to further observe the real situation of people living in this area, and also we will contact and ask permission from the local authority to implement the project. The next step is to learn how to build and maintain BSF. So who's going to learn it? Our team, together with other volunteers from PUC and other partners, will approach the local partners like Red Cross and also Water for Cambodia to learn about how to build, maintain, as well as to install the water filter system. So after the pre-project preparation is done, then we'll start the program. So what's going to happen after the program? That's going to will lead to step 4 is monitoring. So after 6 months, the project team will go to the village again to check whether the water filter system is being used or maintained properly or not. And additionally, we will also conduct an art health condition of the villagers living in that area. And if we have enough budget, we will also take the water to be tested in the lab and for a better quality.